Fuck. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Carlos Antuna, and in this video I'm going to be going behind the scenes behind my latest video, Danza Del Diablo, as well as a breakdown of all my past videos and their storyline connection. So with the storyline, we start off with part 1, Busca Vivo O Muerto, and right here there's not too much context given except for the fact that, my character is fleeing from the police, hence the title, Busca Vivo O Muerto, wanted dead or alive. And, throughout the video, the police officers is chasing the guy, and we don't know exactly what he did, and it's not revealed at all. And so honestly, that one is just a straightforward video, just a classic police chase. In my part 2, La Obertura, we introduced these two characters, and it's revealed that, they know each other, and one of them did my character wrong, and it's shown through the dialogue in which he says, "I hope you can forgive me," in which my character ultimately says, "Sooner than you think," and it's revealed that I kill him soon after that phone call. And it's never really revealed what exactly happened that caused this, betrayal between one another, but we can see that my character didn't want to kill him, but he had to, and he even put the effort of making this burial for him and even praying over his dead body. After this, towards the end of my video, we finally see that I throw away my clothes and now I have getaway clothes on, and it shows the suit that I'm wearing in part 1, Busca Vivo O Muerto, and this finally leads to my part 3, Danza Del Diablo. And so this whole scene reveals that the whole reason why the police officer is chasing me in my first video is because I killed this old friend of mine, and now I'm on the run, which continues with Danza del Diablo. Now finally, in my part 3, Danza del Diablo, it is revealed that I got away. However, I got shot, meaning, there was a struggle between me and the officer in between the time that he was cuffing me in one of the last scenes in part 1. So this is now a continuation from Busca Vivo O Muerto. So yes, I did end up getting away, but he did leave me with a wound, and now after this, I wander off into the desert after my car runs out of gas, and I'm just wandering around, bleeding out, almost passing out from the heat, with nowhere to go. I'm in the middle of nowhere, and I have almost nothing left to do, so I'm just wandering around, and then finally, he falls down, and, when one is shot and they're bleeding out, they start to hallucinate, they start to pass out, and my character, he decides, what, fuck it, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna spend my last few minutes smoking my last cigarette. And we see that he's trying to smoke his last cigarette, and it's not working, and he just gives up. He throws away the lighter, he throws away the cigarette, and in this moment, he looks into the distance, and he sees a white cross, and, he's thinking, what is going on? What am I looking at? And then it's finally revealed, what he's thinking about, what is he feeling bad about, why is he dying? And it cuts back to the scenes from La Obertura in which, he killed this old friend of his, and now it's creeping back to him, and he ponders over it, and then he looks back into the distance, and the cross is gone. So he's shocked, and he realizes it's a hallucination. And this somehow gives him the strength to, continue and just push forward. And he finally gets up. He grabs the strength to carry on. So after my character finally gets up, he fixes his jacket, and it is revealed that he still has the gun on him from La Obertura. In the last scene, we see my character walking on the highway right before he almost gets hit by a car, but he purposely does that to get the attention of the driver so he can stop. And now this civilian has no idea why this guy is here. He has no idea that he's a killer, that he killed 2 people prior to this moment. And so he's just there with his face of confusion and a little bit of worrisome. In this final moment, this is where we see my character approach the car with a smirk on his face because he knows this is how he's going to get away. Right before the civilian actually hits my character, it's announced on the radio that there's a fugitive on the run who had just killed a police officer and an unidentified civilian. So that does reveal that my character did, in fact, kill the police officer. When I first started working on Busca Vivo O Muerto, I knew what I wanted in terms of the music video, which was just a classic, me in a suit, being chased by a police officer, and that was it. I actually didn't have in mind a storyline. It wasn't until I started working on La Obertura in which I started thinking, what if I actually connect the story and find a way to to actually make it into a storyline, because when I was writing the music for La Obertura, it sounded very cold. It sounded like a funeral, and I jokingly thought, oh, what if that's the reason why the police officer is chasing me, is because I killed somebody, ha ha ha. And then I actually thought, no way, I think I can actually do that. And then so finally, while I was working on La Obertura, I already knew that there was definitely going to be a part 3, and that I was going to connect La Obertura with my final song. All it was is just during the production of La Obertura, I knew I had to work things around with the storyline so I can continue with the part 3 and make the storyline effective and make sense. When I was thinking about the ideas of what I was going to do for the music video for Se Busca Vivo O Muerto, I remember thinking, oh, I want to shoot this in a desert with a suit on, a police chasing me. But then I remember thinking, that's impossible. How am I going to do that? How am I going to pull that off? And so I was just going to settle for the idea of, shooting it in a dry sewer and contacting the guys that did the video for me to, take the best shots there. And I actually wasn't going to hit them up. Shout out to AT Productions behind this camera right there. And I was going to, I don't know why, but I thought they weren't going to do it. I thought they'd be like, oh, that's a stupid idea. We're not doing that. We're not going to be in a sewer. But I ended up revealing them my original idea of shooting in a desert, and they're just like, yeah, let's do it. And they did a phenomenal job. My first song is called Se Busca Vivo O Muerto. The reason why I decided on the title was because it translates to wanted, dead, or alive. Pretty straightforward. And honestly, that's what the video is. There's a police officer chasing me. He wants me dead or alive. That's basically it for that one. Now with La Obertura, this translates to the overture. What overture means, it basically means the beginning of a story. And usually this is utilized in operas and plays. And, I see this music video as something like that. It's a drama. It's something serious. And so I think it fits in well with that. And also because when I think about the storyline, I think about the music, my character buries a body, and I just think of, an overture of dirt over one's body. And so it's just something that was etched on my mind, and I decided to keep that title of La Obertura. Now with my latest song, Danza Del Diablo, when I started writing this one 2 years ago, I actually came up with that title rather fast, but it was actually more of a working title because I thought, this sounds kind of sinister, very evil, something the devil would almost dance to. So I just stuck with that, and then once I started really getting into the production of the video for this and the recording for it, I started thinking maybe I should change the title. And so I spent a good amount of time trying to come up with different things, different titles, something cool, and I came up with at least 20 different names until I started really thinking, listening to it, and I thought, this sounds almost very devilish, it sounds very sinister. What if the devil's song, the devil's attitude, the devil's rhythm, the devil's dance, dance of the devil, Danza Del Diablo. And then that's when my dumbass finally figured out that I came full circle within 2 years. And so because of that connection, I thought, you know what? I think I'll stick to Danza Del Diablo. With my first song, Se Busca Vivo O Muerto, when you listen to it, it sounds very, classic Spanish style song, something that would come out of Desperado. A film I actually didn't see prior to making this because, I did get a lot of people asking if I got inspiration from that movie, and I asked them, what is that? What is Desperado? But I see the connection with that. But when you listen to it, at least when I listen to it, I imagine the music video that I have, which is someone, playing the guitar in a desert, very Zorro-like, and, there's a police chase, there's something fast going on at least. And so I think the music and the video represent themselves in that sense. Now with La Obertura, when I was writing it, what I immediately recognized was that it sounds very cold, very sinister, like a hymn that would be played at a funeral. And so this is why the music video is what it is, with the death of somebody, With this song, there's a lot of influence of metal and rock that's implemented into this, and we hear that with the heavy drums in the back and the climatic guitar solo in the video. And then finally, it ends with a reprise of the main melody. And now finally, with my latest song, Danza Del Diablo, this one carries both elements of La Obertura and Se Busca Vivo O Muerto. We hear this in the beginning of the song where there's this Spanish-style sound in it until it finally leads to this Middle Eastern style sound, now introducing elements of La Obertura with drum sounds and a bunch of different instruments that were utilized in the recording process of this song. Since I utilize a lot of the E Phrygian dominant scale in this song, this is a scale that's used a lot in Arabic music, and that's why I decided to shoot this music video in a desert-like area that looks more, from an area of Saudi Arabia rather than, the deserts from, California, like in my first video. Because if you notice, one is a flat land of desert and the other one is very dune-like, very sandy, and I think it goes along very well with that atmosphere. While shooting La Obertura, one of my favorite scenes that we captured was me walking off when it's revealed that I'm wearing the suit for my first video. Right before I walk off, you see in the background the lightning hitting right on the beat, and I thought that was just amazing, especially for the fact that the sun was going down that day, and that was literally the last take that we could do because we weren't going to have any time or any lighting to do it, and we got lucky with that. While we were shooting Danza Del Diablo, the bad thing about that day was that we were shooting this in the middle of August where it was 121 degrees. I'm wearing a full suit, so it was just a hot day. While we had the snake around me, the snake kept falling down because he was just so weak. He was having a heat stroke, I guess. And what he kept doing was he kept going in my pocket hole because I guess that's what snakes do when they get hot. They start looking for holes to cool themselves off. And so finally, towards the end of my video, we see that the snake starts going into my guitar hole. Something that I didn't realize when I strummed the last chord. Adrian, who's recording the video, tells me, hey, stay still, stay still. And I'm not realizing what's going on because I'm looking over here. I'm thinking that the snake just fell on the floor again. And he's saying, the snake is going in the hole, stay still, stay still. And you see my face right then in that moment. I'm just dead. I'm so tired. It's so hot. I want to go home. But we got work to do. But in that moment, that's what pushed me forward because that's when he told me, hey, the snake's going in. We see the take right after that, and we all start high-fiving each other because that ended up being such a badass shot. And honestly, that's my favorite scene from Danza del Diablo. So to answer a big question that everybody asks me, which is, do I sing? No, unfortunately, I don't sing. I sing when I shower, and even then I'm told to shut the fuck up. But that's a big reason why I shoot these kinds of videos, because I want to offer more. I put a lot of time and effort into the music, and so I find that it's necessary to put a lot of time and effort into these music videos, and so people can not only enjoy what they're listening to, but also what they're watching, and envision a story as they go along with listening to the music or even watching the video. If I could give a piece of advice to anybody, it'd be, to just go for it. Do what you want to do. And as crazy as it sounds, as impossible as it may seem, because, 2 years ago, I was going to settle for shooting this video in a sewer. So as crazy as it sounds, just let your dreams grow a little bigger. I want to thank everybody who has supported me along the way. I appreciate everybody's support and everybody's kindness towards my projects. I have a lot of things coming forward, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much. I'll see you at part 4. No, I'm just playing. Fuck that. No, it's over. It's done.